Welcome to Bruce Lee, The Dragon's Legacy, a look into the life of a man who became a legend, a philosopher, and a cultural force that impacted the world unlike any other. This program is brought to you by the Series of Thoughts team. We begin with Chapter 1, The Accidental Icon, exploring his unlikely origins from Hong Kong to Seattle and how a global phenomenon began. Bruce Lee, born Lee Jun in San Francisco in 1940, was destined for the stage from birth, owing to his parents' Chinese opera background. Growing up in Hong Kong, he appeared in over 20 films as a child actor. His early years were marked by a fierce temper, contrasting with the calm mastery he would later achieve. Sent back to Hong Kong for education, Lee was immersed in Chinese culture. His youthful street fights sparked his earliest philosophical insight. Victory gained by way of force was not real victory.
This scene explores the birth of Water. First, he trained in the structured, traditional Wing Chun Kung Fu under Yip Man. He later struggled to master detachment, only to have a revelation while sailing. Was not this water the very essence of Kung Fu?
This moment of realization on the open sea led to his most famous mantra, "Be water, my friend." This concept became central to his martial arts and life philosophy. Chapter 2, Forging a New Path, details how Bruce Lee broke every tradition to build something entirely his own. Jeet Kune Do and the Art of Living. In 1959, Lee arrived in Seattle to study philosophy. He couldn't separate philosophy and martial arts, adapting Wing Chun into his evolving system, Jun Fan Kung Fu. He opened his first school, teaching anyone, regardless of race. Jeet Kune Do, founded in 1967, is defined by simplicity, directness, adaptability, and personal freedom. It was an invitation to express yourself, centered on the idea: absorb what is useful, discard what is not, add what is uniquely your own. Lee was a student of wisdom traditions. Zen grounded him in presence and simplicity, while Taoism gave him Wu Wei, or effortless action. The Be Water metaphor was the living expression of this ancient philosophy made flesh. A severe back injury threatened his career, but rather than surrender, he turned inward, developing his own philosophy. On a business card, he wrote his personal mantra, "Walk on." This determination fueled his career, despite rejection from Hollywood. Bruce Lee's enduring philosophical insight emphasizes adaptability, stating, "To change with change is the changeless state." Chapter 3, The Dragon Ascends, follows Bruce Lee's meteoric rise to becoming the world's first truly global action star through Hollywood stardom and Hong Kong box office records. In 1966, Lee was introduced to American audiences as Kato in The Green Hornet. Though the show was short-lived, his explosive screen presence overshadowed the hero, signaling his future stardom. Racial bias limited his roles in Hollywood, prompting a pivotal choice to return to Hong Kong. This decision proved destiny-altering. Hong Kong audiences were hungry, and Bruce Lee delivered exactly what the moment demanded. Lee's return to Hong Kong resulted in box office domination. The Big Boss shattered records in 1971. Fist of Fury surpassed that in 1972, cementing him as a national phenomenon. Way of the Dragon, also in 1972, showcased his total creative mastery as he wrote, directed, and starred. Hollywood finally noticed. Enter the Dragon, a 1973 Hollywood-Hong Kong co-production, became an international sensation, redefining action cinema. Tragically, Bruce Lee died 6 days before its release at age 32, catapulting him into posthumous global icon status. Enter the Dragon earned over $25 million in the US alone against an $850,000 budget. Bruce Lee had not just broken through the industry, he had broken the mold entirely, becoming a star whose influence extended far beyond the screen. Chapter 4, The Enduring Impact, explores how Bruce Lee's ideas, a philosophy for life, transcend cinema and martial arts to speak directly to the human condition. Lee's life philosophy centers on 3 points. First, the meaning of life is to live it, urging engagement in every moment. Second, perpetual movement, teaching that life is constant change and resistance is the only failure. Third, living from within, relating directly to the world on your own terms. The core of Lee's philosophy is the power of authenticity, captured in the quote, "Always be yourself, express yourself, have faith in yourself." He rejected imitation, asking the profound question, "How can I be me?" and urging individuals to discover their own root and authentic expression. Bruce Lee's famous words on self-evolution echo his commitment to authenticity. Research your own experience. Absorb what is useful, reject what is useless, add what is essentially your own. Lee is a cultural icon for inspiring generations. He democratized martial arts, teaching all races. His philosophy reaches millions globally. As the first global Chinese star, he broke barriers for Asian representation in media. Bruce Lee's legacy is one of innovation and equality. Jeet Kune Do remains a living testament to creative thinking. His instruction of all races was a radical act of equality in 1960s America. His life demonstrates how dedication and self-belief overcome adversity. His impact is visible globally, from a universal martial arts practice in Tokyo and Sao Paulo to inspiring words found everywhere people seek self-improvement. His message of self-mastery empowers all, transcending genders, cultures, and generations. Chapter 5, The Dragon's Echo, explores Bruce Lee's enduring influence on cinema, martial arts, and modern culture, detailing a legacy that refuses to fade. Lee single-handedly popularized martial arts films, redefining the action hero as physical, philosophical, and human. Directors like Quentin Tarantino and John Woo cite him as a foundational influence. His image and philosophy permeate creative culture across all mediums. Jeet Kune Do's principles of adaptability and personal expression transformed modern combat sports. Mixed martial arts traces its philosophical roots directly to Lee's vision of rejecting rigid boundaries. UFC President Dana White and others call him the father of MMA. Lee's philosophy resonates today. The Be Water metaphor offers a timeless framework for resilience and adaptability. His call for authenticity cuts through the noise of social performance. Decades ago, he pioneered the growth mindset of continuous self-improvement. Then, Bruce Lee was a revolutionary on screen, fusing raw power, precision, and philosophy into motion. Now his principles live in every combat sport arena, every training space, and every athlete who embraces cross-disciplinary mastery. We reflect on the double bind of fame and tragedy. Bruce Lee died suddenly on July 20th, 1973, at just 32, before the global release of Enter the Dragon. His death transformed his remarkable fame into enduring myth. In only 32 years, Bruce Lee achieved mastery in martial arts and philosophy, starred in global blockbusters, founded a combat system, and raised a family. He truly lived a life worth remembering, embodying the quote, "Under the sky, under the heavens, there is but one family." Lee's global family includes his work in over 20 childhood films and 4 blockbuster movies that changed cinema history. His impact, compressed into 32 extraordinary years, has created a legacy that continues to grow more than 50 years later. We move now to Chapter 6, The Dragon's Wisdom. We will summarize the distilled philosophy of Bruce Lee, offering key takeaways ready to be carried into your own life. First, embrace fluidity and adaptability. Like water, adapt to circumstances rather than fighting them. When life shifts, ask, how do I flow through this? Second, cultivate authenticity and self-faith. This means knowing your root, rejecting imitation, and having faith in your own unique journey and potential. Third, live with purpose and action. Lee had little patience for passive philosophy. Life is meant to be lived, not just observed or planned. Be a practical dreamer. Let your vision be matched by decisive, daily action. Fourth, commit to continuous learning and personal growth. Follow Lee's cycle. Research your experience, absorb what's useful, reject what's useless, and add your own essence. This process is a lifelong practice, not a finish line. Bruce Lee's enduring wisdom centers on the quality of our existence. As he stated, "It's not the years in your life, but the life in your years." Focus on living fully, authentically, and adaptably. The dragon lives on. His principles are practiced in every dojo, his words guide those keeping a journal, and his influence echoes on every screen. Bruce Lee's message of self-mastery is as urgent and alive today as it was half a century ago.